Hey there everybody, this is Susan here with Pumpkin Hill Stampers. I have a Stampin' Show and Tell for you today. This one's going to be a little bit long, but just bear with me, it's going to be fun. So first off, it's the beginning of the month, so I've sent out my card candy kits, and this month I've sent out kits to everybody who purchased with me last month, stamped with me last month, or just played along on our card challenges. This is my little thank you to all of you who keep me motivated to keep stamping, because this is really what I enjoy doing. So for those of you getting card candy kits, you've got some Garden Green or some Cherry Cobbler cardstock. I've sent you samples of the Dashing Along Designer Series papers, and you're going to get some stamped images from the So Santa stamp set with their wording. So have fun and play with those kits you're getting in the mail, and create something, snap a photo and send it to me, and you're entered into the Card Candy Challenge. At the end of the month I do a drawing for some fun Stampin' Up bling. So easy as that. Okay, now in addition to doing the card candy challenges, I also every month this year I've started doing a case sketch. So try to get you guys to think outside the box and, you know, come up with some cards of your own. Now I don't create all the cases myself. A lot of times I will take a case sketch from another blog online, and I give you the links to those when I play in them. So this month I picked one that actually is current this week. It just ended. This is the Case This Sketch Challenge $2.99. Okay, so here's their image here. So when the show and tell news comes out on Tuesday, I'll have all the links to link back to their challenge so you can see everything else other people did. But here is the card I created for their challenge. Now, I've never done my own chevron pattern here by piecing paper before, so this was my first go at it, but I'm going to show you this one today and how I put it all together. So that's why we're going to be a little bit long, because it takes a little bit of time to do the paper piecing, but it's going to be very worth it. So let's just go ahead and get started. So I took one of those card candy kits, just like I sent out to all my customers as thank yous. Okay. I have a Whisper White card base. I've trimmed down my cardstock so it's going to be mounted on the inside of my frame a little bit there when I'm done. Okay, but for now we're going to set that aside. Now we're going to do our chevrons. So I've taken my Designer Series paper and I've cut it to 3/8 of an inch in width, and I've got 3 different patterns. Hopefully I've cut them pretty evenly the same width. Okay, we're going to use our liquid glue. I've got a piece of Whisper White here that's 1.5 inches wide, and I've scored it down the center. Okay, so I've got 2 halves. Okay, now I've taken my triple banner punch here, and I put a piece in, okay, and I've cut that at the edge. Now the reason I did that is because I want the reverse for my chevron. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take my scissors. Now I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see maybe more detail of what I'm doing here. And I'm going to sit down so I'm closer to the whole action. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take my scored piece and I'm going to take my punched piece here, okay? And on the back, whichever side you decide back, I'm going to line. Do it this way. I'm going to line this up with the center and my edges. Okay? And now last time I just did it with my scissors, and I guess this time I'm going to do it too because I didn't put a pencil on the table. Okay, you could just trace it with your pencil and then cut it, but I'm just going to use my scissors. Be very careful, and I'm just going to lightly, I'm going to hold it still first. Alright. Pencil might be better. Alright, but I'm just going to hold that down firm, and I'm just going to score with my scissors or scoring tool right along that punched edge there. Okay, now I'm going to come in and I'm going to trim it off with my scissors right along that piece. Alright, so now I've got the end of my chevron by doing that. Okay, so now I've got to piece my papers on, right? Alright, so I'm going to add some liquid glue. Now don't use too much because if it seeps out you're going to have stickiness, but you do want to make sure it's on your edges so you're holding down this paper nice. Alright, so I'm going to start with my printed paper here, and I'm just going to line this up on the edge of my chevron. Okay, and that liquid glue is going to leave you some wiggle room, so I'm just going to check I'm good on lining that up. Okay, now I'm going to take a different piece, different pattern. Hopefully I'm inside my camera frame here. Yep, okay. So now I'm going to take another piece and line it up on this side. Okay, just give that a little press. Alright, now I'm going to piece my papers alternating my patterns. So I'm going to bring another one in, I think of the solid red, and I'm just going to work right up to my edge, piece that down. And I'm going to alternate in with the white pattern. Bring that one in. You're just putting them side by side. Okay. I'm going to bring another one in. So I've opted to build my chevron kind of offset by one. Alright, so now I got to do the other red one on this side. Now those first three, as you can see, their centers are overlapping. We'll take care of those little overlaps at the end. So now I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to trim these off. Okay, those are actually for that side. Flip these over and trim these off. Okay, now I'm going to flip these all over. Whoop. That one back over. Alright, so here are my patterns. Here are my patterns. Actually, I have them on the wrong side, so fix this. Alright, so see, now that I've trimmed those off, now my angles are exactly right for the center. Okay, so you won't have to do that again. So only those first three pieces are going to have to be trimmed. So now I'm going to add more adhesive. Okay, and now we're just going to repeat our pattern. So this one comes in. See, now there's no overlap in there. So there's that one. And then we'll repeat our pattern. Okay, now I'm going to do this one. On the opposite side. So one, white. Now, as you can see, my paper pieces aren't exactly the same width as each other. So my chevrons aren't going to line up exactly, but that's okay. So now, same thing, I got to flip it over. I got to trim off my excess pieces. And then I'm going to use those pieces again. Okay. On the right side, the right side paper lifting up. So now I've just got to add more adhesive. Remember, you don't want it to overlap on your finished parts. Okay, where's the first one? Here it is. I had them on the wrong side, so make sure you have them on the right sides. So 1, 2, alright, so there's those. And then on this side I need the red, solid red, and then I need the white. Okay, now I just have a little bit of a triangle left down here. I think instead of trying to piece in itsy bitsy pieces, I'm just going to trim it like a chevron when we're done. So I'm going to move these extra pieces away. I'm going to go ahead and zoom my camera back out so you can see more of what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to trim off these pieces just like I have been, going right down the edge. I'm going to trim it off at the bottom. Just use the edge of your cardstock as a guide. Okay, so there are my extra pieces. Now, remember these first 3 we put on? They got overlapped, but they did not get adhered. So I scored that, remember? So now we just come in, fold it back, and trim. Okay, clean that up just like that. And this piece, I'm going to come right in with my paper snips where I didn't put paper down and just trim that, and that's going to work just fine. Okay, so that's how I paper pieced my chevron. Pretty cool, huh? Now, I wouldn't recommend doing that for hundreds of cards. It might drive you a little bit nuts, but for a couple of really nice cards, it's okay. It worked. Now, let's go ahead and put the rest of this card together. So, like I said, I trimmed down my cardstock for the front. Now, I'm going to put this across here, right? Just like so. So now I need some words. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Santa with the cookies again, because I think he's pretty sweet. So with my stamped words here, I'm just going to use my paper snips and I'm just going to trim it to be a nice tight tag. So just trim under your words. Now you can use your paper trimmers, use whatever you're comfortable with, but I'm just snipping it with my scissors. Okay? Now I didn't snip the top because I want to adhere it to my chevron here. So I'm going to go ahead and put snail. I'm going to go ahead and put snail on the back of my chevron now, because we're going to stick it down on my card. But before we stick it down, I'm going to put in my little words. So I'm just going to put this right at the edge, and that'll just adhere to the snail on the back. Then you can flip it over and add a little for that. And bring this piece back in. And I'm just going to put this down on the top. Line that up. Put that in. Okay? So, there it is. Now, remember the sketch? It was just a pattern of whatever kind. It's a sketch. You don't have to do a chevron just because there's a chevron pattern shown, but I chose to do a chevron. So I have mine, and then I have my sentiment, right? And you put that together and call it done. But I decided not to call it done. I wanted a little Santa in there. So I decided, first off, that he fit in a 2 1/4 inch punch. Okay, the other Santas are a little bit bigger. You may have to use your circle framelits to get them cut out, but this guy I could punch. Okay? Now, I decided not to put him on the top of my card. I kind of wanted him recessed. So what I did was I then punched a circle in the front of my cardstock. Okay? Then we're going to put this guy down on with dimensionals to give him a little bit of lift. Now I put one in each corner. And be careful when you put your circle in that you're not too close to this corner. And then I'm going to put a couple around the circle because I want it to be lifted up around the Santa. I kind of want him to look like he's, you know, framed in there. Alright, so I'll just peel all these backers off. Now, you're probably thinking, how is she going to put the Santa on there and then put that over the top and get it all to line up? Well, I'm not. I'll show you what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to put this down on my card. Okay, so framing this in my card. Now, sometimes I frame better when I'm standing, so I'm going to stand. So, putting this inside my card edge. Okay, then I'm going to put a little bit of snail on the back of Santa here, and I'm just going to drop him through the hole. Remember, I used the same punch to do both, and then I just kind of lift up around there to get him set in there. Easy enough, right? I close up my adhesive. Now, you could leave them black and white, but I chose to add a little bit of color. So I got my Stampin' markers out. One, because I didn't stamp them in Memento, so I didn't use my blends. And secondly, I just needed a little bit of color. We're not coloring everything. So I'm going to do the little green leaves, okay, on his hat for his holly. And then we'll just add some cherry cobbler for his outfit. And we will have ourselves a cute little Santa ready to celebrate the season. Right? And how much fun is getting a handmade card or sending a handmade card when he's so sweet and cute and make us all want those yummy cookies he's holding, right? So, you're just going to add color in there where you need it. You don't need to color every little detail. Just a little color will add a little bit of dimension to your project. So, there we go. Alright, so there you have it. So those of you playing in the card challenges this month, and I invite you all to play, here's the sketch. Do whatever you want with it. Go to the blog and check out what other people have done. Make it your own. You know, I'm happy to have it submitted and shared on the Show and Tell News. Everyone likes to see what everyone else came up with. So there's a drawing for the challenges at the end of the month. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and happy holidays. I hope you got your Christmas cards out. Mine are not out yet, but they'll be going soon. And thumbs up, comments below are always appreciated. Remember, you can subscribe to the Show and Tell News. The link is below to do that. Easy as pie. And all the PDF tutorial details will be there next Tuesday. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed. Do some fun stamping this weekend, and happy holidays. Thanks, everybody. See you again soon. Bye-bye.